Mhm. Wow, we're live. We are live. Well, welcome to Zobiba Publish TV, where we speak about matters of publishing. Matters of publishing can include anything to do with journaling, editing, decision making skills, anything that relates to publishing. I'm your host, Yvette Johnston, publisher, author. Here I am today again. All right, I know it's been a little while since I have done anything on publishing, but today is PhD Mentoring Day, and I have the PhDs with me, and we are just going to talk about a topic that they ask me to speak on. Now, the topic is dangerous obstacles. Dangerous obstacles. So, you can experience obstacle just in any area of life. But what we're talking about today is basically obstacles in general. And this would relate to publishing as well, right? So just about anything to do with publishing, editing, right? So it's going to be obstacles in general. Okay. So dangerous obstacles. So what is an obstacle? An obstacle is anything or something. Okay? So something or anything that stands in the way of progress. Okay? That's what an obstacle is. Let me give you some more definitions. It is something that is placed in the way of someone's achievement. All right? And it is something that is placed in the way of someone's achievement. Anyone who stands in the way of you making money, making progress, that's an obstacle. So it can come in the form of people, things, behaviors, financial situations, anything that comes in the way of basically preventing you from doing what you're supposed to be doing, or okay, or doing it expeditiously, or doing it fruitfully. Okay, all right. It is any object, thing, or action or situation that causes obstruction. An obstacle obstructs or hinders the way of progress or getting forward. Any obstacle, any obstacle, okay, is an obstacle. So as long as it gets in your way to prevent you from doing something that would get you forward in life, that's an obstacle. An obstacle is anything that impedes your progress or success. The obstacle can be physical, it can be economical, it can be psychological. Okay, so obstacle comes in different forms. Okay, so hear this now. You know me, how I speak as clearly as can be, right? I don't hold back when I speak. I speak it so that everybody can get an understanding of what I'm saying. When fools believe that they are testing or training you or training me, right? They're acting in stupidity. Okay? And unnecessary training or unnecessary testing can be an obstacle. So why? Here is the answer. People or a person who has no propensity to be the trainer or the tester is acting out of character. If that person has no propensity to be the trainer or the tester, that person is acting out of character. So what is propensity? Propensity is the natural tendency to behave in a particular way, which means sometimes people don't have the capacity to administer training to you or training for you. Yet they act as if they're supposed to be your trainer or they're supposed to be the tester. That's acting out of stupidity, and that is also acting out of character. Okay? Which ends up being an obstacle. So you wonder how obstacle can be formed. These are some of the ways. Okay. So remember what I said? Propensity is the natural tendency to behave in a particular way. Now, these are people who have no character, no integrity, moral, ethical value, yet they are the ones who administer the test. Now, stop and think about this for a minute. Isn't this amazing that people without character, integrity, these are the people who are administering tests? That's crazy. Hilarious. Okay, here are some questions for you to think about. Okay, so I have a number of questions for you to think about. Number one, how can someone who is immature test someone who is mature on the test of maturity? So, how can someone put yourself in the position of someone who's immature? You are immature, right? But then you're testing someone on the test of maturity, and you're testing someone who's already mature in the area that you're administering the test. Okay? It's still as a matter of publishing. Just listen to where we're going here. So, how can this person test? This person is not qualified to test. Number two, question number two. How can someone without good character test someone with good character? Okay, so I have good character. I know that for sure. I don't have to ask. I know people like to push my button and they like to see if I will get out of character. No, I just tell her the truth, but I'm not getting out of character. But how can someone who is out of character, doesn't have good character, come to test me and I have good character? How can you do that? So, what will the person give as a pass mark when they are ignorant to marking a test paper relating to character? They're ignorant to marking a paper, a test paper that's relating to character, which means they don't have the capacity to handle this, but they're doing it. Okay, think about that. So, your lies, your evil works are stumbling blocks, and they will always backfire on you. Just a side note, while you're thinking about these questions, your lies, when you tell lies on people, which means you tell something about someone that you don't know and that you don't know it's true. Okay? Your evil works when you're doing something that is immoral, something that's not good, something that's bad, wickedness, those become stumbling blocks. Remember what we're talking about, right? Dangerous obstacles. Obstacles are stumbling blocks. So when you think about these things, don't you believe that they will backfire on you? Yes, they will. They sure will. Number three, question number three. How can someone with no integrity, mark you on the test of integrity. You have no integrity, but yet you want to mark a paper on integrity. What do you know about integrity that you can mark a paper on integrity? Number one, you're acting out of character. You're acting out of integrity. Okay? You're also acting out of immorality because you don't understand the capacity that is required to mark this test, but yet you are marking the test. Come on, think about it. So how can you, without integrity, mark a paper on integrity? What do you know about integrity? So let me tell you what integrity is. Integrity is the quality of being honest with principle, okay? So with principle of moral uprightness. If you have no honor, how can you mark a paper relating to honor? Think about this. Question number 4. If you are sleeping with a man's wife or a woman's husband, or if you have done this action, how can you test and mark someone on the test when you have no character? That's a test of integrity, a test of morality. All of that. All of those are included in morality, in integrity, character. Good. So guess what happened now? We were discussing this, the PhDs were discussing, and I was listening, and then they said, can you do this, Yvette? Can you? And I said, okay, you know what? Let's just do it right now. Okay? So they're all watching and listening. Well, this is what one of the questions they ask. If someone slept with my husband, or if someone slept with my wife, can they mark my paper? Are they allowed to mark my paper? When we're talking about relationship and indecency or indecent behavior, right? And morality. Mm. Can they mark my paper? Well, I'm here to answer the question. No, they can't, because they don't have the capacity to handle the question and to put any kind of comments on your paper. What are they going to comment on? What would the comments be? What would the comments be? What would the comments be? They don't have the right to. They're not qualified. I don't care if you have a PhD, but you don't have the capacity. Good. So what would give you the capacity then? Behavior, insight, character, morality. You see what I mean? So all of those, and then your experience, all of those would give you the capacity. Okay? Question number 5. If you keep breaking into people's computers and stealing their ideas, their work, right? How can you test and mark someone on integrity and professionalism? So think about it. Deep thinking. If you're breaking into someone's computer, you're stealing people's ideas, you're going into the internet Wi-Fi, even if it's an open Wi-Fi, did you know that you don't have the right to get into people's stuff, into people's computer? No, you don't. That's theft. Good. So then think about you stealing someone's idea, someone's identity. Identity theft is theft. You're creating a password, you're creating a user ID, you're doing all of that to get into somebody's computer. You're a thief. Yes, you are. You don't have the capacity to mark a paper on integrity or professionalism. No, you don't. And this incorporates publishing. Why? So it can be publishing, training and development, anything like that. I'm just doing something in general so that people can take it wherever they need it, right? To understand that if you have no integrity, if you have no moral, if you have no ethics, what are you going to mark on someone's paper? What are you going to mark? Question number 6. If you keep placing listening device and cameras in people's houses, in their businesses, their offices, washrooms, their vehicles, how can you test and mark someone on integrity, right? Good behavior, professionalism, morality, maturity, ethics, or what are you going to mark them on? Stupidity? What will you mark them on? Stupidity? Think about this. Question number 7. If you are out of your mind with mental deficiency, someone talking in your head, how can you test and mark someone on mental capacity? How can you mark them on mental issues? Do you mean that because you are crazy, you can identify another crazy person? I'm not talking about people who go through things in life and then, life hits them and certain things happen. And so, they have mental issues. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about these crazy people who are acting crazy, okay? And they're talking in people's heads and they're trying to drive everybody crazy up the wall just like themselves. It's not really a psychological issue. No. It's an issue where an, an issue of deprivation because they're deprived of something that they cannot get. And it means that they're either obsessed with somebody's stuff, obsessed with something from somebody. And most time it's obsession, greed, obsession, and envy. People are coveting people. That's what it is. So if you are in all those situations, how can you test me and mark me? What scale are you going to use in order to mark me? Here is a question for deep root cause analysis. Deep root cause analysis. So I give you all those questions to think about. Here is one for deep root cause analysis. Why would you assist someone in texting the person to tell the person, okay, an airplane is coming here and they're going in that direction and this is where they're going. And then you're getting all the neighbors to run out to go to chase someone down, to drive out, you know, chase people down just to get a piece of bread and some water. That's greed. It's greed. It falls in the category of immorality. It falls in the category of everything that we mentioned before. There's a behavioral problem that needs to be fixed. It is. So you do this without the knowledge that the events will backfire on you. This is a cause for a root cause analysis. Think deeply. What are the consequences that you will face when you help people to do things like these? What are the consequences that you will face? What are the events that will backfire on you? Don't you know that the words of your creator, you have a creator, you have a creator. So don't you know that the words of your creator will not go back to him void? They won't. So if he intends to make you pay back for what you have done and what you're doing, you will have to pay back. You will. He will make the plans of the evil men boomerang on them. So just in, just think about your evil plans boomeranging on you. Just think about the plans that you've made, that you've come in agreement with someone to destroy someone's life. You can cause a person to be incapacitated in different ways, different areas. Why would you create anxiety in someone's life for no reason? Why? Why would you create anxiety in your life for no reason? For a piece of bread and some water or a drink? What do I mean by that? For money. For money. But are you thinking about your character? Are you thinking about your integrity? Are you thinking about your behavior? Are you thinking about your morale? Are you thinking about those things? Like, those are things that you should think about daily as a human being. Because when you do these things that become stumbling blocks in people's way or obstacles in people's way, don't you know that at some point in life it's going to affect you, and at some point soon? Because things are not really taking long to backfire these days. Why? Because we're in the appointed time. And because it's the appointed time, it's not taking long for things to backfire. Why would you want to block up someone's business? And that's where the person is going to make money from. That's the person's source of income. But when it happens to you, you cannot handle it. Why would you want to steal people's ideas? Some people don't even know about plagiarism. But why would you want to steal people's ideas when it's copywritten? It's under copyright. So it's a law that you're breaking. Do you think about the retribution or anything that could happen to you because of your behavior? So why become an obstacle in somebody's life? Think about yourself as the obstacle, because a whole lot of people are obstacles in people's lives. Think about the obstacle. Think about you being that obstacle. Why are you that obstacle in someone's life? What are you doing it for? Revenge? For what? For somebody who has never done you anything. Somebody who's never done anything to you. It's greed. That's why I said do a root cause analysis. Because if you get down to the root, you will see that there is an issue that you have that needs to be corrected. And until the issue is corrected, you're not going to change. You're not going to experience any form of transformation in your life until you have done something about it. Okay? So, what will you do when the Creator, because you might not see the eyes, but unseen eyes are watching. I'm not talking about people watching. I'm talking about the real unseen eyes. And the unseen eyes that are watching will always give the evidence to someone else. That means someone here that will tell you exactly what you're doing. So what will you do when he causes your enemies to fight against you? Because then you become an enemy. So when he said he would make your enemies fight against each other, you're going to be fighting against each other. So do you wonder why you're fighting against each other? It's because it's already written. So when you help the enemies, you also become an enemy, which means you find yourself in the category where he said he will make your enemies fight against each other. So whether you're helping someone, right, to do what you think is right when it is bad, or something that is generally considered bad, you're going to find yourself in the position where you're going to fight against each other. It has to happen because it's already written. We cannot change what is written because it's there. It's written. It's like the law. How are you going to change the law? The law goes through a process to become law. Good. So you can't just turn around and say, okay, well, I run through the red light, and okay, there was a camera there, but the only thing I'm going to say is change the law for me. That's not how it works. So nothing is going to change just for you when you're doing what is not right. So get to the root cause of your behavior and see if you can find a solution or a resolution for your behavior. Because it is nobody's business to find a solution for you. Because it just might not work for you because you cannot comply. So get to the root cause of your behavior and see if you can find a solution or a resolution for your behavior. Okay? When you find a solution or a resolution for your behavior, you will adhere to that. You will. Somebody can come up with something, anything, but you may not be able to adhere to what is given to make the transformation in your life, because transformation begins in the mind. And until you can reset your mind, you will never experience transformation. Never. So remember, these are not behaviors that will assist you in climbing the ladder. Okay? These are not behaviors that will assist you in climbing the ladder. We are still going up the ladder. Okay? Because we have to go up in order to get on the other side. Okay? Now, that is in the rebuilding process. This is in publishing. Okay, as a matter of publishing. But as a matter of publishing, there are so many things that are involved in the process. So many things that are involved. So even though I always say I'll see you on the other side when it comes to, you know, my other program, I will see you on the other side of publishing. I was going to continue with what I left off a few weeks ago, but because the PhDs asked me to do this, I said, let me share this. And they asked me, can you publish it? So I said, okay, I'll just do it just to help out everybody. Okay. So what I'm going to ask you to do is to please like, share, tell somebody about the program, subscribe, and comment. Too many people are scared to comment. They're scared to make comments because they think people are going to attack them. What are you scared of people for? Because they're going to attack you? Come on. Why are you afraid of people? Can they kill you? They might be able to kill your body, but they can't kill anything else. And guess what happened? Your creator, if you trust him, he won't allow them to destroy your body. Okay? He created you. He created all of us for a reason. Every one of us serves a purpose on earth. But you know what? Not everybody is really serving the purpose that he or she was created to serve. Because a lot of people are out of character. They're out of the capacity that they should be operating in. Okay? So please check me out at YAJ or YA Johnston Leadership and Coaching, right? Zobiba Global Media, YA Johnston Global Media, Zobiba Publish TV, and I have a book that I'm working on right now. It's almost done. The Loser Mentality. Okay? The loser, because the loser is losing, the loser wants everybody to lose. Okay? So, as a matter of publishing, I wanted to give you this general thing that will help you to do a root cause analysis. And then you'll be able to think deeply about yourself being an obstacle in people's way, a dangerous obstacle. That's our topic for today. Dangerous obstacles. Think of yourself. Are you a dangerous obstacle? And if you are, what are you going to do about it? Okay, I'm Yvette Johnston, and this is Zobiba Publish TV, and we will see you the next time. Okay? You have a great and wonderful day, and just remember, we publish your way. Have a great day. Goodbye.